What's going on, everybody? Daily Draft Dude back again, once again, for another fantasy football mock draft. Today, I'm going to be in the 12 spot. This is full PPR, 12 team, pretty standard. This may be the heart of June, but it's not the heart of fantasy football mock draft season. But stick with me as we analyze values, rising ADP of players, who I like, who I don't like. I'll even go over some OTA news that I've heard. I've tried to keep up with this off season, and I think there's a lot of values to be had, especially in 12 team full PPR. But with that being said, if you enjoy this video and if you enjoy this content on the channel, consider subscribing. It would really mean a lot to me. And leave a comment. Let me know, how can I improve? Do you like my takes? Do I need to be more analytical? Do you want more data driven deep dives? I can do that. There's a lot of resources out there that I can analyze and really take this mock drafting to another level. But with that being said, let's get right into it and start this draft. All right, so no surprise here. Bijan Robinson going number one. Christian McCaffrey going number three. It's a little crazy with the it's a little crazy sleeper ADP, but you know what? We gotta deal with it. We don't have real people yet. So here is, I think, the number one question of the draft is, what direction do you want to go? Drake London is being propped up to go at the end of the first, so it really could be an early second. His quarterback situation is murky, right? I just feel personally like Ashton Genty, he's someone I want to take advantage of this late in the first round. I think he can be an absolute superstar this year, and he can ascend to the tiers of Bijan and Gibbs. He is an incredible prospect, amazing contact balance, and he had over 1,000 yards of offense. I think rushing yards. I can double check that that on an abysmal Raiders team that couldn't move the ball and had one of the worst O lines in the league. Ashton Genty at the tail end of the first round is a smash value. And I get it, full PPR, you have no idea how many passes he's going to catch. I don't think the Raiders have too much talent. They have Brock Bowers, obviously. He's the alpha. He'll probably get the lion's share of the targets. I like Jack Bash. They brought in Jalen Naylor, and then they don't really have a lot of other players. They've drafted a few wide receivers. They have, was it Dante Thornton Jr. from last year? He's a speedster. I'm just not really feeling the receiving room. They might do more 12 personnel with Michael Mayer, who I think is a really good option. But I think Ashton Genty is going to smash this year. And following that up, I think you have some really good picks. You have some really good picks. You got Drake London. Drake London just got paid $140 million. Unbelievable. But quarterback situation is a little iffy. And I like Drake London. I have Drake London, in quite a few of my leagues. He's someone I'm all in on. Maybe in full PPR. If Panks recovers and he continues to pepper Drake London, I think it's a great value. He's still young. I think he's maybe 25. Sleeper. He's still 24. So he's super young. Um, I think Kenneth Walker can be a really good pick too. Um, but there's just something about Devon Achane. I'm really into Devon Achane this year. I think even with what I'm assuming Malik Willis not being a checkdown merchant, I think Devon Achane can really return on his ADP. And I think Devon Achane should be going in the first round over maybe someone like Christian McCaffrey, who has a ton of risk. Maybe not Jonathan Taylor. I think this is probably one of the last years for three down workload Jonathan Taylor, but I think Devon Achane should be going in the first round. All right. I mean, not gonna lie, I think Brees Hall here is a great value. I love me. I love me some Brees Hall. I really do think with the Jets, they did give him a solid contract. They want him to be part of the offense. And personally, in my opinion, I'm a Bills fan. So I'm not too sure about the Jets. I don't follow the Jets too closely, but it seems like from their depth chart, they might be one of the sneakiest values in 2026 fantasy football. They have some talent. They got Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall. I think Geno is serviceable. Now I'm not going to stream Geno most likely because they'll be playing some. They're going to be playing the Bills and the Pats, and I think that's going to be hard. And they're going to be playing the Jeff Halfley Dolphins, even though I think the Dolphins are going to be pretty terrible. Um, yeah. So, and I think with Sadiq, they drafted 16th overall. With Omar Cooper Jr., they drafted at 29. They still have Garrett Wilson, like I said. They still have Mason Taylor. I think there's a lot of value here on the Jets. I think I'm going to take Jalen Waddle to be my wide receiver one. Denver is specifically traded for him. Jalen Waddle, he's not like the most exciting player. He is immensely talented. He is one of those players I feel that it's very frustrating to own in fantasy, in particular redraft, because he does go to the blue injury tent quite a bit, and it can be frustrating to deal with. Look at someone that's raised Bayshall Tootin. Lot of camp hype coming out about Bayshall Tootin. Again, it's OTAs. We don't really have a lot of news, sort of, about pads, and but from all accounts, Tootin is really picking up the offense, and he's looking like the clear guy to take over that backfield. Even though Chris Rodriguez is recovering from foot surgery in the offseason. But so now we're in the fifth round. I mean, to me, I think Jaden Daniels was someone that was going in the third round last year. He's someone that I think is a great value here. In my opinion, everybody out there, I think you can totally win on quarterback. I think there are a lot of great quarterback values in the later rounds. Jalen Hurts, Jackson Dark for upside. Justin Herbert, I think is going to be really good. Caleb Williams, I think is going to be really good. Trevor Lawrence, if he continues to ascend from last year, I think is going to be very good. Dak is always solid. Pat Mahomes is participating in OTAs. I mean, I don't know if I would draft him any earlier than like the 12th, but he's there, or and I don't like to double up in quarterbacks on redraft. I just, unless you see in your home league that people are doubling up on quarterbacks, I wouldn't do it. It doesn't feel great. You really can't play more than one quarterback, and I don't think platooning is really a strategy that you want to do, especially not platooning with an elite quarterback and somebody else. So if you can just wait on Patrick Mahomes, then that's totally fine. Brock Purdy, I love. I think he's going to be an excellent fantasy asset. He absolutely crushed it last year when he was coming back from injury. I mean, look at this: 26, 31, 37. I mean, those are some great. Yeah, I mean, 19, 10. 10 was amazing, but 17, and then he just went on an absolute heater. Brock Purdy, underrated, in my opinion. Matt Stafford is definitely due for regression. I think if you guys listen to JJ Zacharyson, he's talked about touchdown regression from Matt Stafford. I mean, Matt Stafford's only getting older. He's 38. Yeah, I don't expect him to be throwing close to 50 touchdowns a year. But if he can just be, but in the later rounds, in the 11th, in the 12th, if you get Matt Stafford, I think that's a solid value for potential, and you can chalk out maybe losing 7 touchdowns or something like that. I like Jordan Love. I love Jared Goff. I think Malik Willis, Baker Mayfield, Tyler Shuck, Kyler Murray, even C.J. Stroud, Sam Darnold. There are so many quarterbacks. I don't think you need to get an elite guy. I did, honestly, for funsies, but no big deal. No big deal if you don't. I think there's so much quarterback value out there. It's one of those things that I've really just sort of been avoiding and thinking about personally. Like, you don't really need an elite quarterback. Like, Josh Allen he's amazing, right? He's a fantasy unicorn. He's incredible. But even Josh Allen has those stinkers sometimes. I mean, 11 points against the Jets. He put up 40 against Baltimore, and then the following week he puts up 11 points. I mean, that is 10 points against Houston, 6 points against Cleveland. I mean, it's just for all of the incredible spike week games, the 37 points against Cincinnati, the 44 points against Tampa Bay, you get moments of 11. And 11 points can lose you your matchup, especially in when you pick them in the third round. Love Josh Allen, incredible player. Love him on my dynasty teams. I think you can avoid Josh Allen, Lamar, Drake May, Joe Burrow especially, even Jaden Daniels in the early rounds. Get quarterback value elsewhere and later, especially Joe Burrow. These two I understand. Drake May too. Joe Burrow I don't understand. I do. I mean, I do. I understand that he's an incredibly talented quarterback, and when he's healthy, he lights it up, and he's like the young Matt Stafford. He's throwing for 45 plus touchdowns. But the fact of the matter is he's missing games. He's missing game. I mean, look how many games he missed. I love the dude. He's amazing, but he gets hurt, and in the fifth round, that's just not what I'm willing to do. A risk I'm willing to take here. Uh, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Rome, Christian Watson. It's full PPR. Makai Lemon, DK. I don't really like any of these, but let's go Carnell Tate. I haven't really drafted too much Tate. He is a rookie. I do expect him to form some pretty nice chemistry with Cam Ward. I haven't really seen too much on the Titans beat reporters on sort of what the status of camp is. I have heard that Tyjae Spears looks really good, but again, it's OTAs. There's no pads. There's a huge difference between pads and no pads. Um, Here, any running back values I like? I like Rico. I like Chuba, but I think I have like some. I think I have some solid. I have like some really great anchors in the running back room. I think Yeah, I think I'm going to take. I think I'm going to take Parker Washington, which, if you've been watching the channel, I've been taking quite a bit of Parker Washington. My belief is that Jacoby Myers is going to be in the middle. He's not going to be the one or the three. He's not going to be the one or the three. He will probably be the two. He will have the safest floor, and then you really have to take the BTJ or the Parker Washington. I would have taken BTJ personally. I think he's really good, but there's no debating that Parker Washington ended the season on an absolute heater, especially in the playoffs, and he's getting a ton of targets. I mean, 10 targets for, I think he was a fifth, sixth round pick from Penn State. So here, I'm going to go tight end. I really like Sam Laporta. I know he's coming back from back surgery, but I just think Drew Petzing was the OC from Arizona with Trey McBride just absolutely crushing it. Sam Laporta has shown his ceiling. I think that with Drew Petzing, they're going to lean on Jameer Gibbs. They're going to lean on Amon Ra, but I think Sam Laporta can come back to what it was his rookie year. I really do. So, all right. That being said, yeah, I don't really like any of these running backs. It's really kind of gross. Um, I'm not really understanding the ADP for Brian Robinson from Atlanta. He's not Tyler Algier. I don't really get that. I think I could have waited on Wandale instead of Tate, but I don't really know who I was gonna get anyway. I think Michael Pittman. Again, I haven't seen too much news about Pittman from camp, but he seems like a wide receiver that Rodgers would like. And DK didn't really inspire too much confidence last year. So, yeah, I mean, I like our team so far. I think it's pretty solid. Um, yeah, and now we're sort of in like like kind of a gross territory. But I'm gonna reach on Jaden Higgins. He's someone that I think ended the season very well last year. There's reports that he's building on his year one, and he's gonna have a big year two. I think a lot of coaches are going to say that it is the 10th round, and if he can be someone that can get 8 targets a game, because really what you're looking for Jane Higgins to do, there's Nico Collins. Nico Collins has had an injury history. What you're looking for Jane Higgins to do is one of two things: either ascend to the number 2 target over Dalton Schultz, which I think is totally feasible, right? Dalton Schultz, he's a great tight end. I think as a playmaker, Jaden Higgins can be better than him. Or in Nico's absence, show that he can be trusted to be the alpha, which I think is a little bit harder. All right, so we lost out on quite a few of some of the more creative running backs. I like Darren Jones in the 11th. I think that's decent value. Here, we're going to just reach on my boy Tajay Spears. Heard a lot of good stuff coming out of camp. And since we could do Josh Downs. If you've been watching the channel, you know that I'm not super, super high on Josh Downs. But again, it's the 12th round. I don't really like just shoot for upside. The upside case is that Josh Downs is the wide receiver 2, and he is the more consistent target earner, excuse me, than Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce continues to be the sort of that boom bust deep threat guy, and in full PPR, we're really looking for a little bit more consistency. All right. Um, wow, Rashad White. Rashad White in the 13th round, great value, especially in full PPR leagues. I do expect him to be in the Austin Eckler role and catch a ton of passes. Uh, with that being said, we have 4 running backs, so we could use a few more. I don't really see too much in the way of wide receiver values that I like. I don't really like Zachariah Branch. I'm interested in, but I think you can just get him off the waiver wire. Here, as is tradition, I think it's going to continue to be tradition until Jonathan Brooks' ADP continues to rise. We are going to pick Jonathan Brooks, and then we are going to pick. I think Dylan Sampson has shown that he can be a very great running back. Um, he could be, especially even in the passing game. But I think what I want to do is I want to go a little. I think Sean Tucker could be really decent. I think Isaiah Pacheco can be really decent. Keaton Mitchell. Yeah, there's some really, really good options here. I'm not going to take any of my handcuffs. I'm just not really buying. I'm not a big self handcuff guy. I think that's just space on your roster that's being wasted for the potential of an injury. So that's usually like I have no interest in taking Mike Washington. I have no interest in taking Ollie Gordon, and I have no interest in taking Isaiah Davis or Braylon Allen. I just don't really think they have too much upside. I understand that Amari and Hampton got hurt last year, and Kamani Vidal had huge upside. I think if we want to be honest, Kamani Vidal did was talented, and he was just outshined by the new coaching staff um, and the taking of Omar and Hampton, but no big deal. I think Isaiah Pacheco could be really great. He's going to be the David Montgomery in in um, in Detroit. Yeah, let's take Isaiah Pacheco. We haven't drafted too much Isaiah Pacheco. Man, Chig. Hmm. Even Eli Stowers, I'm really interested in. A lot of great tight end values. When you start to play Dynasty, you really understand sort of where you can find value. I mean, I'm not a huge like double tight end guy. I sort of have my guy, but I don't really think there's anything wrong taking a Chig or taking an Eli Stowers. I'll take a Chig here. Let's get Chiggy with it. All right. So, with that being said, let's just go over our team quickly. So, at the tail end of the first round, we took Asher Genty, and then we doubled up with Devon Achan. And then as we got into the late third, we saw value with Brees Hall, so I took the chance on Brees Hall. He, again, contract insulation. They paid the guy they're going to use the player. That's just how it goes. It's a business at the end of the day. You want to get a return on your investment. Then I got Jalen Waddle. He was traded from Miami to Denver. I think totally feasible. It will be interesting to see the dynamic between him and Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton a little bit older, Jalen Wall a little bit younger. Let's see how that shakes out, and especially how Bo Nix's injury is healing. But no issue there. Then we followed up with Jaden Daniels. I think Jaden Daniels was a solid pick, but I think there's really good quarterback value at the tail end of the draft, like Baker, Darnold, Tyler Shuck, Goff. So I could have picked somebody else. All good. Could have got Quinshawn. You know, if you've been watching the channel, I like Quinshawn a lot. Could have got Rome. Again, Rome I think is really good value. So is Colson Loveland. I'd rather have get Colson Loveland than reach on, where is he, on the Luther Burden, in my opinion. I mean, that is 9 picks of value that you're getting. Colson Loveland, who I think can pretty much be the one, and then Rome and Burden are fighting for the 2. Then we got Carnell Tate. In hindsight, maybe I should just wait for Wandale, but they did pick him 4th overall for a reason. Then I got Parker Washington. I've been drafting a lot of Parker Washington, even though I think Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, I think they're both great values, with Jacoby Myers being the safe floor. Then I got a little spicy. I took Sam Laporta. I think with Drew Petzing, Sam Laporta is going to come back to rookie year form. I think he's going to be an excellent. As long as he's recovering well and he's moving well from back surgery, I think Sam Laporta is due for a good year. Then I took a shot on Michael Pittman. I think just going to the Steelers. They like Jeremy Bernard. But I took a shot on Michael Pittman. I didn't like what I saw from DK Metcalf last year. I think Michael Pittman can help move the chains in the middle of the field with Aaron Rodgers. More upside swing with Jada Higgins ascending to be the number 2 target in the offense over Dalton Schultz. We'll see if that comes to fruition, but it is the later rounds. Tajay Spears, I've heard really good things out of camp that he's looking very strong. And he's one of my more favorite players. He does have some knee issues. I think he's without an ACL, but it is what it is. I think in full PPR, he's shown that his ceiling can be high, but his floor is very low. Then I took Josh Downs. Josh Downs is one of those players that I'm not totally sold on. I don't really think vacated targets increases someone's fantasy value, but Matt Harmon has talked extensively about him. JJ Zachariason has talked extensively about him. And Alec Pierce is not practicing, and he's recovering from off-season ankle injury surgery, and they think that he's not going to be playing until midway through training camp. So maybe Josh Downs to the moon. If he does go a few rounds higher, I do think that hype is going to be a little too much, and I might not draft him over here, but I think in the 12th it's fine value. Then, as always, and maybe as is tradition, until the very end, I took Jonathan Brooks. Love Jonathan Brooks. Think he's going to be really great in Carolina. He is recovering from ACL surgery that he had 2 years ago, so we'll see how that works. He may be a better value actually next year in 2027. Then I took Isaiah Pacheco. I think he's just going to be the David Montgomery in the Lions offense. Take that for what it's worth. It's the 14th round. You just want upside. And then finally, I took Chig Okonkwo, who they paid a decent amount of money this offseason. Who knows what that looks like, but I mean, clearly Washington sees something in him. He's actually someone I have quite a few shares in Dynasty. Um, so we'll see how that shakes out. It is full PPR, and if he even ascends to be the 2 or the 3 in this offense, I think it's a huge win, especially in tight end premium leagues. This isn't a tight end premium draft, but in tight end premium leagues, I think he's a very solid value. But with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like. I would really appreciate it, and leave it a comment down below. Let me know. Do you like the takes? Do you agree with the positions that I'm picking players? I sort of reached for Tajay Spears. Do you agree with that? Same thing with Isaiah Pacheco. Do you think that he's going to have a role? Do you not think he's going to have a role? Let me know down below. Subscribe if you enjoy the channel. And if anybody wants to do a viewer dynasty league, let me know and I will set something up. We can even do a small cash buy-in. No big deal. With that being said, my name is Daily Draft Dude, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.